Hi color kids, this is Katie Carty Hiley from RainbowBrite.net. Welcome back to the Rainbow Land Museum. And I've got a merch haul I'm going to be doing today, as well as a few news items that I want to pass on to you. And I don't have a lot of merch this time. I've kind of cut down on my collecting, apart from some of the artwork that I showed you in the previous video, because I'm running out of space. I've got a few boxes that you can't see because I creatively hid them from the camera, but they're like from my last few videos of stuff that I don't know where to put them. So until I figure that out, I'm not going to be adding much to the collection except for, new stuff that comes out that is a must-have, which is one thing I will be mentioning today. I don't have it yet, but there's something new coming soon. So let me just show you what I've got. A couple of these items I actually completely forgot that I had purchased because it was months ago, and I stuck them in a closet to get them out of the way and forgot I had done so. So here we go. This I got recently off of Instagram. It's a Rainbow Brite kaleidoscope. Oh, sorry, magic kaleidoscope. I don't know exactly what makes it magical. It's kind of the worst kaleidoscope I've ever had the displeasure of looking through. It's really bad. Basically, there are like beads in there, like little, kind of the beads you would use if you had like fishing line and you were making a little bracelet or a necklace. It's kind of like those beads in this like green circle, and you turn it and the beads move around. I mean, you can hear that, right? Yeah. It's just full of bead, whatever. I'm still glad I have it because I've always wanted one of these. I've seen them pop up on eBay and so forth over the past several years and just never grabbed one. So finally, Instagram to the rescue. I now have a magic kaleidoscope with a twink on it, because why not? This, I don't believe I have this particular one already. I forgot to look through my pictures to make sure, but I don't think I did. A friend of mine that I do the Aloha Mora podcast for, that's the Harry Potter podcast that I'm on, Aloha Mora. One of my co-hosts, Kat, was going through some of her old belongings and came across this from her childhood. It's one of the little like doll pajamas. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what they would do, they would make a larger version of this for a little girl or boy to wear, and then they would make the small version to put on your doll so that you and your doll could match. So this would go on like the 18-inch Rainbow Brite doll. But honestly, it's big enough probably that an infant could wear it, at least for a short amount of time. But it's adorable, and I love anything that has Baby Brite and Puppy Brite and the girl sprites on it, because we know they don't show up on merchandise nearly as often as they should. And it's vintage, and it's still in really great shape. She took good care of her stuff. So thanks, Kat! This is amazing! I love it so much when I have friends from other fandoms that get my obsession with Rainbow Brite and support it. Even if they don't give me stuff, but when they do, it's really sweet. I'm just like, oh, thanks. So, yeah, if I ever find any funny random NSYNC thing, I'll save it for you, Kat, because she loves NSYNC. Or at least used to. I think she still does. This is very tiny, so I don't know how well it's going to show up. It's a little metal pin. It's got two little clasps on the back. They're not clasps, I don't know what you call those. Little pins that you would stick through a piece of clothing or a purse or whatever. And it's glittery, which I don't, oh yeah, I think you can see that a little bit in this light. This was gifted to me by the creator. It was on Instagram. I've forgotten their Instagram username. I'll try to look that up and put it in the description. But also, if you go to my Instagram, which is just RainbowBrite.net on Instagram, you'll see a picture of it because I listed it there and told you who made it because it was very sweet of them to send me one for free. Yay! Thank you. I'll add that to my collection as well. This, I kind of forgot I didn't already have this, and then it came across, I think it was on Etsy, yeah. This is a pattern to make your own Lurky doll. So this is a vintage pattern. They made these for Twink, Rainbow Brite, and Lurky. I think those are the three that they made to make your own plush doll out of. And I think I've seen at least one of these actually that somebody made, like a picture of it online. And they're pretty darn cute. I mean, as you can see, it looks a lot like the original doll. The legs are a bit different, but otherwise, yeah, it's really close. I mean, I don't know where you would get those eyeballs, because they look just like the ones on the regular doll. But I just love that you could and still can, I mean, this still has the entire pattern in it, if you are so craftily inclined, which I am not, you could make your own dolls! And how cool is that? I think I saw one on Facebook not that long ago. It was a Rainbow Brite doll, and it looked so good. So if you've got a crafty person in your life, or can hire someone to do it, you could have your own custom-made plushie. Let's do this next. This is interesting. It's not a Rainbow Brite book, but it's a book that mentions Rainbow Brite, collecting classic girls' toys. Now, I did not know this existed until I saw a screenshot, or a picture, I should say, a photo of one of the pages that is talking about Rainbow Brite and had a picture of Tickle Pink on it. And I was like, what is that from? And somebody else thankfully asked the question and got the answer for me. This came out in 2010, so it's not super old, but somehow I had just never heard of it. And it's massive, as you can see, it's very thick. I was just looking to see if it has like the years that it goes through, or is it just categories? It's just categories. But yeah, 12 chapters, along with some directories of manufacturers, etc. I'm sorry, there's an alarm going off on my phone. So I don't remember where the pages for Rainbow Brite are. There aren't many. Maybe about 5 something. It's more than it's in that Beak book about the series. So at least it's got that. And it's got like a black and white picture of one of the Rainbow Brite dolls. It's got a color picture of the Tickle Pink doll. I think Baby Brite shows up in here. Most of the pictures, I believe, are color. There's just that one that's black and white for who knows why. But I just love that Rainbow Brite was included in something like this about people who, for people who collect dolls. Or girls' toys, not necessarily just dolls. But yeah, and this is actually from a library. That's why it's all shiny and it has the little like punch thing in it, because people used to check it out, and I bought it. Yeah, it hadn't been checked out since 2011. How sad. That's the back. I have no idea what those dolls are. They're pretty darn cute though, whatever they are. And again, the ones on the front, they look very just generic doll. They're not any properties that I know of. But I love that they did include Rainbow Brite, and there's a whole section about pink-haired dolls, so that's where she comes back up again with Tickle Pink and Baby Brite, Moonglow, etc. So, I'm going to be reading, probably just reading, because I don't think scanning these would help much. The pictures aren't that great. Though I may take some snapshots. But I'm going to be reading the text from this on my Patreon for my sponsors. So look for that on an upcoming Spritecast episode. I was going to do that this past week, and somehow it didn't happen. But it's on my list. It'll happen soon, I promise. I can put that back where it was. So if you're interested as to the information in that book, check out my Patreon. Patreon.com/RainbowBriteNet. Next, I've got a couple of boxed dolls. When I got through to Tickle Pink, when I got the boxed version of her, I was like, oh yay, I'm done, I got the boxed dolls, and then I was looking back through my list, and I'm like, no, I'm not, darn it. I was still, and am still missing several sprites, and I did not have Lurky in the box either, which I do now, I'll show you in a minute, but I did not have Lucky either, so now I have Lucky, and he's adorable, and he's in really good shape, and the box is in really good shape, because sometimes the doll looks great, but the box is all, mangled. But this one is actually in really good shape, so I was very lucky. And actually, it's even unpunched up here. Yeah, never even been punched, so that's cool. And got Mr. Lurky. Oh. So this is the small version of Mattel's Lurky. The Emotions Lurky, Emotions was a division of Mattel, so they're all Mattel dolls, but the Emotions Lurky did not come in a box. It just has a hand tag that says Emotions, etc. But the small one and the ginormous one, I guess they both came in a box. I am not actively looking for the ginormous one in a box, because this is big enough as it is. Just because the doll itself is pretty darn big, so the box has to be even bigger. I mean, look how tall this thing is. I don't know where I'm gonna put this. I have no idea, but I had to have it. Cause yeah, I already had all 3 sizes of Lurky, but he's honestly one of my favorite dolls. I don't know why. He's just darn cute, and he's in perfect condition. He's completely clean. Has this little Lurky booklet underneath him in there. So yeah, he's never been removed from the box. There's a big plastic thing holding him to the box. And yeah, so I was very glad to add this to the collection as well. Funny story, I actually got a boxed Lurky for my nephew years ago. That was probably like 2012? Yeah, it was a while back when he was little. And I just let him open it. Because, you know, kids sometimes, if you get them vintage stuff, if it's not still in the box, they think, oh, this is gross or crappy or what, you know, kids. They like things to be new. So they didn't realize that it was old. I probably told them at the time. But because it was still in the box, it was new and cool. So he enjoyed that, I think, for a while. I have no idea if he still has it or not. It was kind of painful to watch him open it, honestly. But at the same time, it was worth it and fun. And it was really inexpensive. I kind of wish I had kept it. Sorry, Lucas. No, I'm kidding. I'm glad that he had it and had fun with it. But this is now my boxed Lurky that I will not be taking out of the box. Next, okay, so I already had the Funko Pop. I got another one because I wanted one to be able to take out of the box and display out of the box. So the other one is still sitting here that I'm going to keep in the box, even though I know I already unboxed her and took her out and showed her to you. But these are boxed in such a way that it doesn't really matter. You don't have to like cut any tape or mangle the box to get them out or put them back in. I did bend like this flap right here on that one when I opened it a bit, but I don't really care. But I want that one to be the special one that stays in the box because it's the one that Funko sent me. So it's very special to me and I will always remember that fondly. Now what I did do to help keep that one, you know, fresh and spanking new looking, hopefully forever, was I got another Funko. I kind of wanted her anyway, let's be real. It's the Rainbow Care Bear, Cheer Bear. But she comes in a protective, there's this plastic, if you can see it. There's a protective box over her that I can take off of her and put it on the Rainbow Brite Funko. But on Amazon, this was just sold as one piece. It was just Cheer Bear in a protective box for like $10. I don't know what the protective boxes cost individually if you were to buy several. They're probably pretty cheap. I didn't go looking, but I was like, well, I already want her, so I might as well get the one with the protective box that I can then use on the other Funko. But it's got like this protective coating that you can peel off that keeps the plastic nice and scratch free and so forth. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. And just because he's sitting here and he makes me happy, I also got Orko. I told you I wasn't going to get any more He-Man Funkos, but it's Orko. He's one of my favorite characters of all time of anything, and he's adorable. I think he comes on like a stand so that it looks like he's flying or something. Yeah, there's something underneath him. Yeah, a little clear plastic stand he sits up on. Yeah. So that wasn't Rainbow Brite, but I just had to show you, and just to tell you that those Funko protective boxes exist, if you feel so inclined to get one for your own. I think that's all the new stuff that I have not shown you already. It's been pulled out of closets. It'll probably be put back in closets until I can figure out where to put them permanently. That's going to be a challenge. But anyway, let me get to the news items. I made myself a little list. So the new Rainbow Brite ornament for 2018, the Hallmark Keepsake ornament, is coming out next Saturday, July 14th. So you should totally go to your Hallmark store, probably on that day. Not that she's gonna sell out the first day. They usually get a good stock of ornaments in. That's not why I'm saying you should go that day, but it's usually really fun to go on like ornament premiere day, I think is what they call it. It's a hubbub. There's like a bunch of people in there. They usually have like snacks. And there's sometimes I've gone before and there's been like a local Hallmark collectors club representative there, like, that you can talk to about collecting Hallmark ornaments. I don't know, it's just fun. Everybody's in a good mood. They kind of make a big party of it. So if you can go to a Hallmark store on the 14th, I would say do so, because it's really fun. Unless you just don't like being around large crowds of people, in which case don't go that day. Go the day after. But I'm gonna be doing my best to go that day, even though I have something else I'm supposed to also be doing that day. We'll see. But I'll get it as soon as I can, so I can show her off to you guys, because she's so cute and I cannot wait to get a hold of her. The Funko Pops are now available all over the doggone place. In my last video when I was talking about it, she was not available yet. And even when she became available, there were still some places like Amazon. I had a bunch of fans say that they had pre-ordered her like back in March, and then Amazon like canceled their order or said she wasn't going to be available until July or August, or they were giving them all kinds of just crazy dates. So they started looking elsewhere. My number one go-to place is GameStop. That's where I found mine. My second one, I should say. I wanted to go find one out in the wild, because, you know, we don't get that opportunity all that often these days. A lot of stuff is sold online with like Zazzle and Truffle Shovel. The only things we can get in person are at Hallmark. So it's fun to be able to go into a non-Hallmark store and see something Rainbow Brite. So yeah, and the GameStop I went to got two or three in stock. So yeah, it's not like every store only got one. Although not every store necessarily got her, so if you have a GameStop nearby and you're thinking of going to buy her, I think you can actually look on GameStop's website and it'll tell you if she's in stock at your store, or you can just call your store, whatevs. But GameStop.com is great. You can, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it'll tell you if it's at particular stores. If not, you can order it and have it sent to the store. I'm almost certain. Don't completely hold me to that because I haven't done it myself yet, but I'm pretty sure I looked into it and that was an option. And you can just buy it on their website and just have it shipped to your house. So they have a lot of different options. Oh, the thing about GameStop though, at least currently, you know, I'll check it again while I'm talking to you. They have her name spelled wrong. They have it spelled B-R-I-G-H-T. So if you go to GameStop.com and you search for Rainbow Brite spelled the correct way, it will say 0 results for Rainbow Brite. Did you mean Rainbow B-R-I-G-H-T? And then if you click on the misspelling, it'll come up. And they still have not fixed that. I even left them a review on their website for the pop. And I was saying the pop was perfect, but I was like, hey, you might want to fix the spelling on your website, and they still haven't done it. So if you're having trouble finding her on their website, that's why. Just use the wrong spelling and you'll find her just fine. But she's at other stores too. That's not the only store that is selling her. Box lunch stores have her, or at least some do. And there's several stores I had never heard of before that I've seen people say they got theirs at online. So just look through Instagram. People are posting tons of pictures of their Funkos because everybody's so excited that she exists and that they got her. And usually they say, oh, I found her at such and such a place. So if you're looking for ideas of where to find her, and I'll try to pay more attention myself and give you guys a list of stores to look for her at. But GameStop is still my number one recommendation for the moment. Rainbow Brite's 34th anniversary just passed. What was this, a week or two ago? That's the anniversary of when the cartoon debuted in 1984. We know that the brand is from 1983, but I'm still not certain any merchandise came out that year. I have a bunch of greeting cards from back then that I need to get the numbers off the back of and send over to Hallmark because they said they would look them up and tell me when they came out, and I just haven't done it yet. That's, gosh, been like 2 years ago that I was supposed to do that. I'm sorry. I'm just curious if any cards came out that first year. But as far as we know, merchandise and cartoon-wise, 1984 is her debut year. So next year is going to be a big one since it's 35. Every 5 years is like the big kahunas. So yeah, I'm hoping they're going to do something cool for her 35th anniversary next year. But this year could technically be considered her 35th anniversary if you're just going by the copyright date. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that just happened. That just passed. Yay. Happy birthday, Rainbow Brite! Woo! And last but not least, Zazzle.com has some more Rainbow Brite merchandise that they just recently added. And there's at least one new design that was not there before. It's like the Color Kids in the carriage that Starlight is, Starlight in front of the carriage that he's pulling. They're like flying through the air or whatever. But they also added several new items that did not exist before. There are metal lunchboxes, plastic lunchboxes, socks, tapestries. There's a whole birthday supply section with banners and like paper plates and paper cups. There's lamps, posters. I think those are the main new things I remember seeing. But yeah, I was just like, oh, dang, they added some new stuff, and I had no idea. So you should go check those out, especially the lunch boxes. I think the plastic ones are my favorite. They're just really cute, and they come with little containers inside to put your food in. So that's cool too. But yeah, I think that's everything for this video. I'm gonna try to stay caught up more. I don't think there's anything new though coming out except for the ornament. And well, the Coleco arcade game, or mini arcade, will come later this fall that I pre-ordered. But apart from that, I have not heard any news about any other upcoming stuff from Hallmark. Not to say there's not going to be any, I just haven't heard of it. So I'm still crossing all my fingers and toes and hoping we're going to get more itty bitties, or big dolls, or books, or all of the above, and more. Please, pretty please, Hallmark. So yeah, I'll let y'all know if I hear of anything. But that's it for this video. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a rainbow day. Bye.